Hello, Tracy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of this special series of the Jewish Women Entrepreneurs and Leaders podcast. This special series is dedicated to supporting Israel and more specifically to support small business owners in Israel who are fighting on a whole different front. Of course, we have the war front and we have the front of the army and the people that are sick that we're still praying for, and the people that are still not back home that we're praying for. And there is another front, which is the front of the people that have to make a living with their business, and that this war, as horrible as it is also preventing people to make a living. And we're focusing more on women because this is the Jewish Women Entrepreneurs podcast. And I'm happy to have Tracey Lipman with me on this interview. Hello, Tracey. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, and I'm happy to have you because Tracey, for those of you who don't know her, is a small business owner, lives in Israel with her family, and has made Alya 17 years ago. From which country, Tracey? Remind me.
I've lived in England, South Africa, and New Zealand.
Oh wow! So that is quite that is quite a list of countries. And today, Tracey is a small business owner who designs and handcrafts vegan-friendly purses, wallets, and pocket apron for women. But she's also one of the moderators of a Facebook group that is well known here in Israel for women entrepreneurs, which is called IWEN, Israeli Women Entrepreneurs Network, that counts, I think last time I checked, 3,900 women in the group, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're close to 4,000.
Close to 4,000, so really, really impressive. And Tracey is well known for her Tuesday advert post. At least that's where I knew her first. And the reason why I wanted to interview Tracey today was to speak about not only her business and how she's going through this difficult time, but also how the women on IWEN, from her experience, from what she sees, what is their challenges and how it is really affecting them in their business. But first, let's start from you, Tracey. Tell us, how did the war impact you? Where were you when it happened? Is everyone safe around you, first of all? And then tell us also how it impacts your business today.
Yeah, no, thank God we're all safe. Between sirens, we are in a collective state of shock like the rest of the country. But sirens permitting, we're in a safe space.
Okay, so that is already a good news. And tell us about your business, which, by the way, this is what we see in the background is your workroom. This
Yes.
is where the magic happens. But tell us first of all, tell us more about what you do, and tell us how and if the war has affected your business.
The war's definitely affected my business. I design and create purses and wallets, pocket aprons, which I sell in Israel and send overseas. It was supposed to be the last quarter, supposed to be working up to Hanukkah sales, and no Hanukkah sales going on in Israel. Sending overseas is a little complicated. At the moment, packages are going, but they're delayed. People are scared to order. They don't know how long it's going to take to arrive. In the Amazon economy of want it next day, we can't promise that right now. But it's been very heartwarming. I've had such lovely messages from customers saying, not ready to order now, but just want to know that you're safe, which is wonderful.
It is definitely. And so you're seeing less orders. You're seeing a challenge in shipping your orders. Are your clients essentially based in Israel, or do you also have clients overseas?
I've got two markets. The Israeli market, I was gearing up. I also organize fairs as well. We have a local fair with over 40 vendors, which we normally have 2 weeks before Hanukkah. And it's a big event. I feel that is it's something that everyone works towards. We know from when Sukkot finishes, we normally send the emails out to sign up. We're normally full within 24 hours. And we bring several hundred women to the event with money to spend looking to buy things. We've been running that for over 15 years. And we've run it, I think we only cancelled one, and that was during Corona. And as soon as we could open, we opened up again with masks on and followed all the guidelines as best that we could. And we've done this before with sirens, with terrorist alerts, it's a very hard thing to know that it's very heart-sore to think that we may not be able to hold this again because of all the women that rely on us, men as well. But the event is catered towards women customers. So it hurts me that we're thinking we may not be able to put this on this year.
Definitely. How many women you have women that are exposing their products, and you have women that come and buy, right? And you have women that come. So how many people are exposing their products like every year? Do you have
we normally have 40 plus, between 40 and 45 businesses with tables at the event. So, and we have our regular vendors that come every year, and then we have new ones who come. And I'm like the unofficial telephone directory. People message me afterwards, say, I love what that person had. They were in that far corner next to.
Can you tell me what the name is? Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then with their permission, I give on their details. So it's not just the event. It's a platform for these businesses that I feel it's an important thing that we do. And it hurts to know that we may not be able to do that.
Of course. And so you said you have two markets. You have the Israeli market, and then you have another market which is overseas.
Yes, I've got two websites. I sell on Etsy, and I sell on my own website as well, mainly to America.
And we will put the link to your website and to so that people that want to buy from you know what you do. So I invite everyone to come and check your website. And so, of course, like having such a fair that you've been doing for 15 years, that is bringing, what are we talking about, hundreds of women that come and buy, which is like probably, like you said, it's a great source of revenue, but it's also a great place to network and to be exposed to people. Even if you don't buy right away, at least you have the exposure and you start the connection, and probably sales are going on way after the fair.
Yes.
So So that is definitely something that I could imagine is really would be a bad news if it would have to be canceled. And we are in very uncertain times. Like no one can really know or predict how long this is going to go on. So I definitely understand. And I want to talk to you about as a moderator of the IWIN group. I've seen myself, just reading through posts, or even with my clients or in my group, and we have this weekly support meetup where people come and speak. So I've heard a lot of, and mainly women, because that's who I work with, but I've heard a lot of entrepreneurs who are almost ashamed and feel guilty promoting their services or their products right now. And I also saw that for, I think, the first 2 weeks, you decided, probably with the whole IWIN team, to stop the advert post on Tuesday because it wasn't, the proper thing to do. But now I saw today that you came back with very interesting instructions on who wants to post, who needs help, and I actually really love those the way that you put that. So can you tell us more about, if you're the unofficial directory of people contact you, like what do you feel? What do you hear around you that those women feel with their business? What do you hear around you around that?
There's no good time for a war. Definitely not. But this war came at a particularly difficult time. In Israel, from July, August, September, the whole country goes on holiday. Everything was on hold. People with families had children home. It was a long summer and very, very, very hot summer. So people were like, let's get through the summer and then I'll concentrate on my business. Then we have the Chagim, and we had Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Let's get through Sukkot, because through Sukkot, everything's closed. Again, everybody's on holiday. And as soon as Sukkot is finished, I'm going to be ready to run. I'm going to be going for the fourth quarter. And everything that I've been building up to, it's going to be, pow, it's going to happen. And then the rockets came and the war came and those horrors that we just cannot get out of our mind. And it's like you were holding yourself back, ready to run. And as soon as you were ready, as soon as you wanted to run, it's like, you can't move. So everyone says, are you okay? That's the classic phrase that we say to each other. Hey, how you doing? Are you okay? No, we're not. Absolutely nobody is okay. We were just recovering from, I'm not talking about the war. Let's talk about business in this. We all know that the war is going on. We all know that those horrors. But the unspoken thing that we weren't allowed to talk about is I'm terrified for my livelihood. We've been through Corona. I was finally, when I say I'm talking about as a collective, we were finally getting our heads above water, finally ready to run. We had all these plans. And again, we're stopped. So people didn't want to advertise it. It was tone deaf to advertise at that time. So instead of doing the regular Tuesday advert post, I did a post where we could talk about how we're feeling as business owners, how scared we were. Because you can't talk about that outside of a business group, because there's so many other things to be scared of right now. It's a terrifying time, and you don't want to sound selfish to say that you're scared for your business. So as a business group, I wanted people to have that safe space that they could talk about it there without judgment, in a group of people who got that that's a legitimate fear. So many, the marketers, like, they're losing clients because nobody wants to market right now. Tourism, nobody's coming to the country. The product makers, you got trouble getting products overseas. We don't know if the Hanukkah fairs are happening that people are relying on. The photographers, who wants to have photos taken now? Every single industry is affected. So, but then I could see the adverts were slowly starting to trickle in. You could see people trying to think of a way to advertise and like get it underneath the radar, thinking we wouldn't notice. So I thought it's time to bring the advert post back. Mm-hmm. But I wanted it to be a safe space where nobody's going to judge you for advertising. I mean, as women, the married women whose husbands are working, they're going to work every day. They're not sitting at home saying, I can't work. So as women, I wanted us to get back out there and say, we can work too. We're holding the fort. We're holding everything together, but we can work too. It's legitimate that we can run our businesses. But I think we have to do it in a more sensitive way. We have to be very careful about how we advertise it. We can't be tone deaf right now. So the post today was like, get your feet back in there, share your adverts, ask for feedback, and let's discuss it and see how we can help each other move forward.
Definitely. And I love what you're saying about, I don't love the fact that people felt ashamed, but I love that you were sensitive enough to say, yes, you have a safe space. You are allowed to worry about your livelihood. You spoke about men going to work, but some women have their husbands in as reservists, right? They've been drafted. And so when you say that we're holding the fort, it's literally holding the fort. It's not, it's a literal for some or single moms or, women that have their kids in the army. All of this going on, and still you have to pay the bills, you have to pay the mortgage, you have to have food on the table, right? And I personally also saw, like I said, with my clients, this evolution, those stages where in the beginning, of course, no one can think about the business
Yeah.
because we're all mourning, and we're like, just there's no room for anything else. But then slowly you're looking at reality, and reality is money, and how am I going to pay for things? And
Yeah.
if you're a business owner and you cannot go to work, like you said, every day and have a salary at the end of the month, then you're the one creating your money, your resource, your revenue. Uh, you're going to ask yourself those questions. And I think it's amazing that IWEN was there to provide that space to say, okay, now is not the time to advert, but we're still going to be there for you to speak about your anxiety, to voice out your fears, and to be able to be there for each other. And today, the post that I saw that you put out was also very sensitive to the tone.
Thank you.
To the tone of no, I think it's very important because, I mean, people that are business owners have to be marketers, right? You cannot have a business if you're
Yes.
not a marketer. But who knows how to be a marketer in times of war? Who teaches that, right?
That's another thing. It's like our identity of our business went into crisis because
Right.
where does our product or our service fit into this war situation? And that's a very uncertain thing when, for small business owners whose identity is very tied up in their business.
Yeah.
It's a very insecure feeling of there's this whole new reality. And we had that with Corona, and we were finally coming through it. And then to have this again, without the emotional resources to cope with it, we came into this exhausted. We came into this exhausted from Corona.
Right.
We came into this exhausted from the summer holidays. We came into this exhausted from all the emotional things that we were dealing with already. And then you put the war on top of that. And then you want to be there, and you want to volunteer, and you want to be there for everybody else. And you want to be able to give to all these organizations that are collecting. But it comes to a point where you can't do anymore if you're not having money coming in. So how do you put your business into this new reality? It's a scary thing.
It is, and it's definitely, like you said, it's a time to also rethink your positioning, rethink your target market, rethink,
Yes.
who you're selling to, what are you selling, what is your added value, is this the right time to sell, how are you going to position yourself, how are you going to market? And all those questions are very difficult to answer while you are yourself emotionally, sometimes physically with the sirens, or depending where you live in
Yes.
Israel, not feeling safe. And so this is like a huge, it's not even a challenge, it's like an earthquake. It's an earthquake.
Yeah. And especially like the women whose husbands have gone to the army, the women whose children have gone to the army, the emotional and the physical toll of that, so much more is on your shoulders. You said whose target market. I don't know if we're ready to do that yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's all too raw. We're going to have to get to that point.
Yeah.
But we're going day by day right now, I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, we keep on talking about Corona, and I know during Corona, I was, thank God, not personally touched. I didn't have physical symptoms, so I was completely 100% in service of my clients, of my community, and I had so much resource and energy to share because it was about pivoting, and it was about bringing your business online, or finding another target market, or knowing how to work from home, or and I had all those strategies and ideas as a business mentor. It was like it was. I mean, I saw how I could help. But today it's like Corona, because we're home, and we have to. I mean, kids are homeschooling, and it feels the same technically, but emotionally we don't have the same resources.
Yes.
We don't have the same. We're not as available, like you said. It's too early to speak about. I know that we did in those weekly meetups. We have breakout rooms with different experts that are helping different entrepreneurs that can register to those, depending on what they need. And I'm holding a room on business, like how to manage your business in times of war. And so sometimes I try to start talking about pivoting or bringing your business online. And even though I'm sure, there are good ideas and they're valid, but the people are not ready to hear them yet. They're not, it's like not sinking in. It's like there's no room for such a big change, or even thinking about a big change. And
the big P word, the big pivot.
Yeah, the big P word, exactly. And you're right. I think that it's too early. It's really too early to speak about that. Now, having said all that, we don't want to end on a negative note, right? We want to keep being hopeful and continue to help each other and to support each other. We also have seen a lot of initiatives of women who are helping small business owners. We spoke about Aliza Naon's website that she put together in I don't know,
She's amazing. she really is amazing.
Exactly. So we interviewed Aliza here. We had Debbie Sasson, who is also an amazing coach, who's helping her clients go through this. We had a great example of clients of mine actually who are using their business to donate, and were able to raise $21,000. Sending out products to soldiers and families from the north, from the south. So we hear, with all this, we also hear, like you said, we also want to volunteer, and everything we do now is to help is free. Everything we do is volunteering. So we see that spirit, and we also see an entrepreneurial spirit, right? In all this, we see a lot of people starting projects, and I think that IWEN is a platform where if people are abroad and want to help, and they want to help by not only by giving money or giving charity or helping with financially, they can also buy products or buy services.
Yes.
And that is one of the best ways, I think, to help an entrepreneur, is to give them business, to buy from them, right?
Definitely. We have to keep the economy going. We can't help others unless money's coming in for us. We have to keep the economy going so that we can carry on providing for others, not just our families, so that we can donate to all the organizations that need our resources. We haven't recovered enough from Corona to have this stagnant, nothing moving stage. We can't do that. And just dumb things, like if you can just get something to make yourself feel better, because we need that right now.
Yeah.
I bought a nice cake for my kids. Like, we're in a war, we need cake.
Yes. We definitely do.
And each person does something different to make themselves feel better. Like somebody said to me, some people are wearing more makeup so they can put the extra face on, and other people are saying they're not wearing makeup because they're in a stage of mourning. So it's mourning for the country and where we're going. But each person has something to offer. Each person, your business wouldn't have existed before this if you didn't provide something for somebody. So don't give up hope. What you have is going to make somebody's day. It's going to make somebody happy. It's going to make somebody's day just that little bit better.
Yes.
And it's finding those people that you can do that for, and not losing your sense of identity and thinking that you have nothing to offer, because each of us has something to offer. It's just navigating how to get our offers and products out there without being tone deaf, and keeping that sensitivity. But definitely. We'll get through this. We will.
We will.
We have to. We have to,
definitely. And I think that what you're saying is right on target. And if we continue to know, not if to promote, but how to promote, and when to promote, and what words to use, and maybe what product, or when is the right time, and to whom, I think that those are the questions we have to ask ourselves. And I think the posts that you are posting on IWEN specifically are helping
Thank you.
entrepreneurs to be more focused on something like is like not just okay, yeah, it's open promote, but really be smart about it. Be smart about it,
Yeah.
and do it in a way that it's audible. And I think that this is how we're going to get through it. It's by helping each other, by giving advice, giving feedback, and buying from each other. So the global network, we're lucky to have more than 40% of our members that are coming from abroad. And this is what we do now. We're promoting small business owners from Israel so that potential clients or people that want to support small business owners in Israel can buy their services and their products. So we will put a link to your business, because that's what we do.
Thank
We're
you.
featuring every business, and we're giving a chance to get to know your products. And now we got a chance to have a conversation with you and to know who is behind the product. But we also want to see the amazing products that you create. And if people want to know more, they will be able to click on the link. Tracey, I want to thank you so much for this time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And
thank you for giving businesses this platform and
yes,
being there to help people through this.
yes. This is how we're going to get through it, is if we help each other and we really give the support to each other. So I will see you, everyone who is listening or watching, in our next episode on Thursday. We're having 3 episodes a week. We went from, I think, 1 episode every 2 weeks to 3 episodes a week, because we want to feature as many business owners or initiatives as possible. And so we will see you back for another interview of the Jewish Women Entrepreneurs and Leaders podcast on Thursday. But before that, if you want to come and join a global meetup, which is also we were doing it every month. Now we're doing it every week. Weekly support meetup for business owners, whether you're in Israel or around the world, because we know it's also a challenge for Jewish women entrepreneurs that are around the world to see this from far. And so you can come tomorrow, Wednesday, October 25th at 8 p.m. Israel time, and you'll be able to meet experts and to go into different rooms and to get the help that you need. Thank you, Tracey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And most importantly, everyone, stay safe.